I see you just beat Borussia Monchengladbach 2-0 away over in Hungary. I've got Joe from the 9320 pod. Joe Butterfield, how you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all good. Always nice after a win.
Talk to me about the performance. What did you make of it today? Was it a good performance or was it all right? What do you reckon?
The first half was really uneventful. I thought we got the goal, so we did enough. But I think the commentary team on BT were right in saying that Pep would probably come away from the game thinking that maybe we hadn't tested them enough. And I think it was, I think we didn't really, apart from the goal and Sterling's dubious penalty shout. I don't think we really did anything at all in that first half. And then the second half, thankfully, we managed to turn the screw a little bit. But it could have been more. And I'm hoping that you'll ask me about Gabriel Jesus in a minute because I've got some stuff to say about him.
Is it a case of that you feel like the job could have been done but isn't quite done yet, so you're a little bit frustrated by that? But overall, obviously, it's good, but is it something to do with that?
Yeah, it's good, but, it's a Champions League knockout tie, innit? I mean, you don't want to be going into the second leg with only a 2-0 lead. Like, that could become, that could be easily overturned in the Champions League, as we've seen before. I mean, remember when Monaco... I mean, obviously, this team isn't quite as good as Monaco in 16-17, but we went into that tie with a 2-goal lead. Was it 3? But either way, that got overturned in the second leg. So it'd be nice to have been properly out of sight, and I feel like a third goal would have done that. But it's 19th win on the spin. We can't really complain, can we?
Apart from Gabriel Jesus, which I'm sure you're about to complain about. Yeah. So what I will say, I'm going to defend him a little bit. We all know his work rate's excellent, and we know his stuff outside the box is really good. But I'm guessing you're going to say you're not comfortable in front of goal with Gabby. Is that right? Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some great pressing stats that are for him that show why he's great. And someone actually sent me because I tweeted something that basically said that I don't really consider Gabriel Jesus to be very reliable. And apparently he's got 77 goals and 110 appearances, but it doesn't look like that. Like, the eye test doesn't make you think that the way that I see it is, if Gabriel Jesus can get 77 goals and 110, imagine what an actual good finisher could do in this system. Like, imagine what a Haaland could do in that position. Like, I'm sure that he does all the work outside the box and all the work in the build up that, like, Pep loves and Pep wants to see, which is why he gets picked so often. And I'm sure all that stuff is great, but I just want a striker who can... He didn't. It's not like he took a shot and missed. I'd forgive that if he shot and he missed. But he was acting like he had about half an hour to take a shot.
I don't think you would. I think you'd be pretty pissed here.
Well, I'd still be a bit annoyed. But he would have had a shot at least. But to not even do that, like,
have we been a bit? I'm going to play devil's advocate. We've been a little bit harsher because this is a man, obviously, who spent years in the shadow of Aguero during his formative years, so never really got a chance to kind of essentially build on his own confidence. And he's been told for the past 3 years that he's just second fiddle to someone. And of course, tonight he scored a crucial goal, and he scored a crucial goal against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Are we been a little bit harsh, or do you feel like there's no signs of redemption for him, or is it you just made your mind up?
No, I'll always love him personally. I think he is a great player in his own right. But and you're right, he scored some big goals for us. Like, he scored the 100 points goal for us. He scored against Real Madrid in both legs. He's got. It's not like I'm completely like, no, get rid of him, he's crap. Like, he obviously has some value in this squad, but I think tonight was like a snapshot of why, when Aguero leaves, whatever it costs, we've got to buy another striker, because this is just like, it's not to have someone up front who can't even take a shot in the situation that Gabriel Jesus was in tonight. If that's going to be our leading striker, which we all know that it absolutely won't be come this time next season. But that's just like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for a Manchester City striker.
It feels like we found a problem there, because I guess he'll want to be the leading striker, and rightfully so. Of course he'll want to be. He's at that age as Brazil's number 9, where he'll want to be playing every single week as well. But we all know if someone like Haaland comes in, to be honest, even if we sign Martinez or Lukaku or someone like that, they're all going to start ahead of him. They're going to. Yeah. They're coming in to start ahead of him. So it does leave you in a bit of a dilemma, because I think we all... some people won't, but I think it'd be harsh to say that he's not a good squad player. I think we'd all agree with that. But then, and once again, for his price as well, in this level that he plays, he's a good squad player as well, even for the price you paid for him. But at the same time, it's like, is he going to be happy with that? And I personally want him to hang around, because I think personally Aguero might move on, even though obviously we'll touch on him in a second. I think he might move on, which causes a bit of a problem. But it's difficult, isn't it? But anyway, Aguero was back tonight. I mean, how did you feel about his little cameo?
He looked sharper than he has in the previous times. I think I remember, was it the Marseille game where he came off the bench and he actually got a goal for us? he looked good then, but I don't think in any other game where he's made a substitute appearance this season, he's really looked like he's at that level. So I'm hoping that the extra time that he's had out has been so that he can get that actual sharpness in him. I know what your feelings on Aguero are, and I'm kind of in the same situation where I've kind of just written him off for this season. I kind of not written him off, but I'm if he produces,
as opposed to emotionally, I think I have
If
I don't want to write him off. I just want him to be. I worry that we're expecting too much from someone we might not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. The way that I see it is that if Aguero comes in and scores like 10 goals between now and the end of the season, I see that as like a massive bonus. Like I'm not expecting that from him, given the injuries that he's had. So if he can come in and do that between now and the end of the season, which I'm sure if he's got even half the ability that he had before this injury, I'm sure he will. But I think a lot of people have put a lot on him coming back from injury, and I just don't think we're going to see the same kind of player that he was before he was injured. I think it's just natural with a knee injury that's had him out for nearly 12 months now.
That's probably fair. Joe, thank you for coming on, mate. Is it job done now, basically?
Yeah. I mean, I was bullish about it before we went into the game, saying that I was quite confident we'd win. As much as I would have liked to have got in with another goal, I think against this Gladbach side, two goal advantage should be enough for us to get through.
Can't discriminate, guys. Go and follow Joe. His link will be in the probably in the description or the top comments. Somewhere. Joe's the top guy, and obviously check out the Joe Show on the 9320 podcast. Manchester City 2-0 away at Gladbach. It's pretty goddamn decent. Like, comment, subscribe. In a bit.